especially for young people. It is time to accommodate this new normal and help in flattening the curve in the country. A very good evening. We'll be letting you know about this particular story, among others, that we have lined up for you on KBC News Hour.
Usije ukafikiria ati kwa sababu wewe ni miaka 20 na kitu ati huwezi kuumbukizwa ama huwezi kufa ukiumbukizwa. Unaweza.
Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe appeals to youth to take caution as coronavirus cases hit the 20,000 mark, dismisses claims of diplomatic considerations in flights allowed into the country. Muslim community mark Eid al-Azha festivities in conformity with the COVID-19 demands. And politicians condemn use of excessive force by police in quelling skirmishes in Olposimoro as communities clashed.
We have details on those stories, among others, and we welcome you to be part of this particular broadcast on social media. Join us at KBC Channel 1, and you can also communicate with me directly on my social media handle at Serfine_Achieng on Twitter and Serfine Achieng on Facebook. My name is Serfine Achieng, of course, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Simon Karotha. Now we begin straight away with our top story. The number of COVID-19 cases surpassed the 20,000 mark after 723 new cases were confirmed on Friday, with 16 people succumbing to the virus over the last 24 hours. Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe appealing to young people to take the containment measures seriously, with statistics indicating that the fatalities include those aged under 40 years with no known pre-existing medical conditions. And with international flights set to resume tomorrow, Kagwe says the decision on what countries will be allowed into the country was based on science, with the aim of protecting the citizenry and not diplomatic considerations. Nancy Okware begins our bulletin.
The country is appearing to be sliding into the red zone fast, with the number of confirmed cases now past the 20,000 mark. On Friday, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe confirmed 723 new cases out of 8,679 samples tested, pushing the COVID-19 caseload to 20,636.
We are simply saying, out of the samples that we tested, those are the positive cases. But practically, there is probably a lot more people in our community who are so infected. In fact, there are people who go around on Saturdays just looking for a wedding to attend. You know, you don't have to know the people. But there is a new normal. Now, we need to know, we have to contain it and be just a few people who are attending the wedding.
The number of fatalities also rose to 341 after 16 more people succumbed to the virus. The CS noting that the trend had changed, with many more young people without any pre-existing conditions now succumbing to the virus.
One lady amekufa akiwa na miaka 22. A young person, 22 years old. Vile katika Kiambu Level 5 Hospital kuna mtu mmoja pia, mama mmoja pia amekufa akiwa na miaka 37.
Mutahi calling on the age group to be extra careful and adhere to the containment measures in place.
Usije ukafikiria ati kwa sababu wewe ni miaka 20 na kitu ati huwezi kuumbukizwa ama huwezi kufa ukiumbukizwa. Unaweza.
44 patients were discharged after making full recovery, out of which 24 were from the home-based care program and 20 from the various health facilities.
It is not entirely correct to say that those who have gone on home-based care have been abandoned, because we have community health volunteers spread out throughout the country.
And with the Kenyan airspace set to reopen tomorrow for international flights, the CS said that the decision to exclude some countries was purely based on scientific facts to avoid reopening up the country to imported COVID-19 cases from worst-hit destinations.
It's got nothing to do with the diplomatic relationships. What it has to do with is the health assessment and protecting Kenyans from what can easily become another export or another imported case of virus growth.
18 countries were given the green light to have access into the Kenyan airspace after 7 more countries, including United Kingdom, France, Netherlands, Qatar, UAE, Italy and USA, with the exception of California, Florida and Texas, were added to the list on Friday. With the number of fatalities resulting from COVID-19 having hit 341, the Ministry of Health is concerned following an increase in number of people succumbing to the virus without having any pre-existing condition, hence a clarion call to all Kenyans to keep adhering to the set-out guidelines. Nancy Okware, Channel 1 News.
Thank you, Nancy, for breaking down those numbers for us. Now, from across the counties, the Deputy President, William Ruto, has cautioned Kenyans against violating the Ministry of Health protocols on COVID-19. This comes as at least 2 bars in central Kenya have had their licenses withdrawn after they were found selling alcohol, contrary to a directive banning the operations of bars until further notice.
The Deputy President was in Trans Nzoia County at a burial ceremony of Ben Jipcho, who was an athlete. It is here that the Deputy President cautioned Kenyans against violating the COVID-19 regulations aimed at preventing the spread of the virus. He urged Kenyans to embrace what he says is the new normal and ensure they wear masks, wash hands and keep their social distance.
Na pengine mambo yale mengine yatasemwa na wizara, kwa sababu hawa wazee kina Kipchoge Keino waliumia kidogo, kwa sababu wakati huo hatukukuwa na mpango wa kusaidia wakimbiaji ama wanariadha. Lakini sasa hivi tumeweka mpango kamili kama serikali.
His sentiments come at a time when Central Regional Commissioner Wilfred Nyagwanga ordered for the withdrawal of licenses of 2 bars in the region found to be flouting the regulations stopping bar operations. Nyagwanga warned other bar owners against secretly selling liquor to consumers. He says those found will have their licenses withdrawn permanently and action taken against them.
So wananchi wote, kwa sababu ya hii kazi inahitaji everybody, let us bite. Kufungua biashara ya bite itaendelea baada ya COVID. We must ensure that entire region, all of us must remain closed until when we are advised.
Meanwhile, Uasin Gishu County Commissioner Jaldesa Abdul Razak has warned hotel operators against violating the government protocols on COVID-19, saying they risk closure. He regretted that some operators had failed to adhere to the regulations that include social distancing in their eateries.
Wahisani wengine pia wajiunge na university zetu ambazo hawatoi tu bidhaa ya msaada, wanatengeneza vitu kama mask na wanatengeneza vitu kama sanitizers ili waweze kugawa.
In the meantime, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union Acting Secretary General Dr. Chibanzi Mwachonda has confirmed that he tested positive for COVID-19. In a statement, Dr. Mwachonda said that he contracted the virus while dispensing his official duties and is in stable condition. Beatrice Getonyingetich, Channel 1 News.
Now on to a celebratory mood. It was a new normal as Muslims across the country marked Eid al-Adha festival amid the coronavirus pandemic. The celebrations that commemorate the end of pilgrimage in Mecca are marked by prayers and sharing of food with the less fortunate members of the society. Yusuf Farah reports.
10th of Dhul Hijjah in the Islamic calendar, a day that marks the celebration of Eid al-Adha by Muslim faithful across the globe. In normal times, Muslims gather in their hundreds for prayers, performing the prayers shoulder to shoulder. The COVID-19 pandemic will, however, present a new normal this time around. The heavy downpour experienced in the coastal city of Mombasa could not stop Muslim faithful from turning up in several mosques for the prayer, though in strict adherence to COVID-19 measures issued by the Ministry of Health.
Tuliweza meet the demands of social distances na mambo mengine yote tukafanya kama vile ilivyohitajika. Hata wakati tumeweza kuchunga kwa jambo la juu sana. Tuliweza kumaximize the 1 hour na kumaliza ibada yetu, na sasa tunaenda majumbani kusherehekea na jamii zetu na familia zetu. Tuwatakia Waislamu wote popote walipo Eid njema.
In his message to the Muslim faithful, President Uhuru Kenyatta reminding Muslims to remember that during times of crisis, personal sacrifices ensure triumph over difficulty. The message, a reflection of the difficult times the country is going through as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. His deputy, William Ruto, urging Muslims to be encouraged by the celebrations to rededicate themselves to family, community and philanthropy. In the spirit of remembering the needy and vulnerable in the society, Direct Aid International Kuwait donated over 5,000 goats for the needy.
Na tutakatakata na itawekwa kwa bags na itapelekwa kwa mafamily wale wako na haja, Waislamu na usio Waislamu wote.
Siku ya kuwakumbuka watu maskini bila kuangalia rangi zenye wako nazo, bila kuangalia dini ambao wako nayo, bali sisi wote tunafaa kuwashughulikia watu maskini, kuwatembelea, kwenda kuwaona, pia watoto mayatima na pia wagonjwa.
The festivities are conducted in memory of Prophet Ibrahim when he was asked to sacrifice his son. Even though this year's Eid al-Adha celebrations have been marked differently from the ones that have passed before, the spirit of sharing and giving to the needy in our society remains the same. Yusuf Farah, Channel 1 News, Nairobi.
And Eid Mubarak to all the Muslim brothers and sisters as you celebrate this very special day, and may Allah continue to answer all your prayers. Now, a section of political leaders drawn from Narok County have condemned what they term as use of excessive force by security agents deployed to quell skirmishes in Olposimoru area. The development coming as police enhanced security in the area following renewed clashes, with Narok North Member of Parliament Moitalel Olekenta urging the political class to desist from making utterances that may further incite the two warring communities. Have a look. Renewed conflict witnessed between members of the Kipsigis and Maasai communities in Olposimoru area in Narok North Sub-County continue to escalate. The conflict that had appeared to have been resolved reignited this week, witnessing the killing of 2 people in an altercation that also left several people nursing injuries.
We have 2 boys who have lost their lives from gunshot wounds. They have left young families. They have left their wives and their children, now orphaned and widowed.
Area leaders condemning what they say is the use of excessive force by police officers deployed to quell the skirmishes, calling on the Independent Policing Oversight Authority to investigate the alleged cases of police brutality.
In this case, there is not a single shred of evidence to show that these shootings were necessitated by fear of being unsafe or being in danger, or because there was fighting at that moment going on between the 2 communities.
IPOA lazima wakuje waangalie hiyo maneno, tujue ni nani na ni nini ilifanyika mpaka polisi wanapiga watu live bullets.
Narok North Member of Parliament Moitalel Olekenta calling on the government not to deploy police officers hailing from the 2 communities in the conflict.
Let there be policemen from other communities. We have got 42 communities. We want from the other 40 communities, not from the 2 communities, not from Maasai, the Maasai community, nor from the Kalinga community. Once we have that kind of neutral police force, then things will work out.
This even as he called for peace, cautioning politicians against making utterances that may fan the flames of violence in the volatile region.
I think there is even the bigger war of political supremacy, political wars at the national level, political wars at the county levels and all that. Those are the issues.
Meanwhile, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission has raised a red flag over what it says is hate speech and incitement being channeled through social media in Mandera and Marsabit counties. A statement by the Commission says that the online conversation bordering on hate speech has continued to threaten the fragile cohesion fabric in the counties and its environs, further straining the peaceful coexistence between the 2 communities. And residents living along the West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet border are enjoying newfound peace thanks to a dairy farming project that changed the narrative from one of conflict to that of tranquility. The project offered a truce to the perennial cattle rustling problem after residents began investing in dairy farming cattle as opposed to indigenous cattle, which are often targeted by cattle rustlers. Serfine Achieng with the details of the project that has transformed the lives of nearly 6,000 residents.
After years characterized of conflict triggered by frequent cattle rustling attacks, residents at the Kapsait border are living in peace, enjoying the beautiful landscape dotted with a canopy of trees and cool weather. The Kapsait border along West Pokot Elgeyo Marakwet was once a battlefield as communities clashed owing to the outdated practice of cattle rustling. But that tale changed as they began a new chapter in their lives. 20 years ago, a deal was sealed following a series of meetings by elders from both sides, mediated by the Catholic Diocese of Eldoret and the late President Daniel Arap Moi.
Tukaona tunaangamia tu kwa sababu ya ujinga yetu kwamba si fulani anaenda kutafuta wakora na hata yeye afaidiki. So tukaona tukaamua kukaa chini na kuona hii shida imetokana na nini. Tukaona imetokana na ng'ombe. Tukaanza kufikiria na je, tukibadilisha hii ng'ombe iwezi kuwa biashara kwa namna nyingine na tukiwa tunaishi tu hivi.
The Peace Pact will benefit at least 6,000 residents who are benefiting from the project that was mooted in the year 2000.
Wakati sasa wazee wakakuja chini na kusema tuuze hii maziwa, tuusie wenye hawana hii maziwa.
According to Kenneth Lomaibon, the chair of Leland Highland Dairies Company Limited, the deal saw the warring communities replace their indigenous cattle that were subject to conflict with exotic cattle. This will transform the region to a dairy produce as families could correct history and begin selling milk from the high-yielding dairy cows.
Ilikuwa ni watu chache, ilikuwa ni watu 30, tukaanza kuwa 40, tukaanza kuitisha jamii zetu hata wale wa Marakwet, tukawa pamoja, tukaanza kuweka mkataba kwamba ya kwanza ili amani hii ikue tutafanya nini? Ikawa ni tutengeneze sheria. Sheria yetu ambayo ilikuwa ni ya pande hii peke yake, haikuwa ya Kenya. So ya kwanza ilikuwa ni ukiiba ng'ombe ya jirani yako ama ukipatikana umeiba ng'ombe utalipa fine. Na hiyo fine ilikuwa ni ng'ombe 4, tulihesabu miguu. Tukasema waje tuweke sheria ng'ombe ukiiba inatembea na miguu. Tukasema ukiiba unalipishwa ng'ombe 4.
Increased milk production led to the formation of Leland Highland Dairies Company Limited, which is now being supported by a local bank. However, the start of the pandemic will present new challenges. They're now focusing on training farmers on the new health regulations to ensure milk is handled with the utmost hygiene.
Wale wanakamua hii ng'ombe wa maintain usafi. Ya kwanza ni kunao mikono na kusanitize ili waanze kukamua.
Wakati huu wa COVID-19 imetupea changamoto sana kwa sababu pia kufalia hizi masks huwa atupati kwa urahisi, huwa tunazitoa mbali.
Ujumbe wa COVID-19 tunapata kupitia redio na viongozi ambao wanatembea wakieleza watu juu ya hii ugonjwa.
Mnaweza leta hii ugonjwa ya COVID-19. Sasa hizi hatuna maziwa ya kuleta hapa sababu imetu affect.
And as the residents go about their business, incidences of unrest are a thing of the past as they look into the future, having had the courage to rewrite their tale to that of fortune. Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Serfine Achieng.
Wow, the Kapsait Peace Project bringing a new dawn to residents of West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet counties. Thank you, Serfine Achieng, for compiling that report. I'm appreciating those who are interacting with us on social media. Please continue doing that. We will be sampling some of your views when we come back from this particular short commercial break.
Having recorded over 700 cases of coronavirus, Machakos County is leaving nothing to chance. The county government has already achieved the 300 isolation bed capacity. However, devolved units face the litmus test of controlling the spread of coronavirus. Join me, Purity Museo, this Sunday at 9 p.m. on our weekly segment Family Matters as we engage Machakos County Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua on how his administration is adopting to the new normal, only on KBC Channel 1.
Sisi Kenyans, we don't poteza a chance to connect now to it. We now have close to 40 million internet subscriptions, and our mobile connectivity has helped us spread our biasharas wider, while new technologies open up a digital Kenyan economy that will leave no one behind.
Mawasiliano kwetu, nguvu kwako. The Communications Authority of Kenya, opening your world.
The date for the FA Cup final is set, and so are we, as Arsenal and Chelsea face off again on the 1st of August at Wembley. The All London affair will be broadcast live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 this Saturday from 7:30 p.m.
Cesar Azpilicueta again for Giroud. Oh, and it's found a way through.
Heads up. It is a showdown worth your wait.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We appreciate James Karimi. You're watching us from Meru County. Alexis Morara, you say well represented following the news updates from Gashie. And of course, Evans Juma, you're watching us from Kitale. Thank you so much. And Mary Atieno, you're watching us from Homa Bay County. We appreciate your time tonight, even as we continue to inform you on what is the latest in Kenya and beyond borders. Now, we want to cross over into the world of politics. Laikipia Governor Ndiritu Muriithi wants the National Treasury to authorize counties to spend 30% of the amounts owed to the devolved units as they await a resolution to the ongoing revenue sharing formula impasse. While assenting to the county's budget appropriations bill, Governor Muriithi says the current paralysis witnessed in the Senate over the new formula has derailed efforts put in place by counties to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. The Senate is currently embroiled in a tussle on the proposed county revenue sharing formula, and of course we expect them to be having a sitting next week Tuesday.
Devolved units continue to bear the brunt of budget hitches as Senate for the 6th time failed to endorse the third basis revenue sharing formula. Laikipia Governor Ndiritu Muriithi, while assenting to the county's budget appropriations bill 2020-2021, said the county has incurred pending bills due to failure by the National Treasury to remit funds to counties.
It should be quite possible for the National Treasury and for Senate to arrive at that conclusion and use 12 billion to compensate the 17 counties who will suffer a loss, meaning that they may get less than they got last financial year.
The county chief urging the National Treasury to proceed with July and August disbursements to counties on the basis of the current formula, adding that services, particularly in the health sector, should not be constrained because of the current debate at the Senate.
We hope that the IFMIS teams in the Treasury will hasten, not just for Laikipia, for countries generally, the uploading of our budgets so that we can be able to appropriate, including, of course, the monies that we ourselves are raising.
Elsewhere, a section of political leaders drawn from Embu County have taken a swipe on leaders who were supporting the Building Bridges initiative but have since shifted ship on the one vote, 1 shilling debate. Former Embu Senator Lenny Kivuti insists money should follow function.
Na BBI ndio ilizidua ile maneno president ameleta mbele.
ya one man one vote one shilling, na mimi naunga hiyo mkono. Kila mtu Kenya hawe na share, hata kama ikiwa kidogo, lakini zote tuwe equal.
I think time has come for us to carry out an audit on the impact of devolution to the lives, on the lives of the people in the counties. Because again, I know that a lot of money has been disbursed to the counties since 2013. And opinion is divided out there as to whether this money has been used properly or not.
The Senate is expected to revisit the revenue sharing debate next week on Tuesday.
Ili aweze kukumbuka makanisa.
Now on to other matters. The Kenya Forest Service has embarked on an ambitious plan to fully equip rangers and improve their welfare. The plan to improve their working conditions was announced as Kenya joined the rest of the world in marking the World Rangers Day. It is a day meant to honor men and women who put their lives at risk every day to safeguard the country's flora and fauna.
Intense rain or extreme sunshine will not deter these men and women who put their lives at risk every day to safeguard the country's natural resources. A splendor which is also a source of livelihood for thousands who rely on tourists visiting the parks. And in celebrating their sacrifices, Kenya joined the rest of the world in honoring and celebrating these unsung heroes during the World Rangers Day.
Celebrate this World Rangers Day. My message to forest rangers listening or watching from the far end forest stations, operational camps, beats, outposts, is that you are not alone. You matter to us, and I and the entire Kenya Forest Service family shares with you your day-to-day experiences, and we commit to marching forward with you in a better future.
KFS Chief Conservator of Forests Julius Kamau hailed the Rangers' efforts, pointing out they safeguard at least 2.5 million hectares of forest land.
A single forest ranger protects, on average, 1,045 hectares, both day and night, as opposed to the world recommended 400 hectares per ranger when motorized.
We try also to ensure that the performance of a ranger is enhanced through also enlisting communities.
He pointed out that in the last financial year, 2019 to 2020, not less than 22 rangers were injured in the line of duty, while 3 forest rangers died.
Not less than 22 rangers were injured in the line of duty. And to all the injured, I would want to say they need to feel encouraged as a service celebrate them and stand with them as our hero and heroines. They must always remember that every setback leaves behind a path to make a comeback. Unfortunately, the service lost 3 of her forest rangers in the line of duty in the last financial year.
Kamau revealed they have embarked on an ambitious agenda to improve their work conditions, including provision of up-to-date equipment to track and report on activities within the park. He pointed out that rangers will also be trained and provided with adequate and ideal housing, uniform, risk allowance, and medical cover.
We were able to refurbish about 98 rangers house units, and this current financial year we commit to do an additional 8 rangers unit. We have procured tents, uniforms, and enhanced mobility.
KFS Commandant in charge of the Rangers, Alex Lemarcoco, narrated the life of a ranger is one that is filled with numerous challenges.
Rangers require mobility to be able to function well. We have a serious shortage of vehicles, motorable vehicles, and even those ones that are suitable for forest protection. We also have a challenge of resourcing in terms of the kitting of the rangers. Insecurity in the forest is basically increasing. We have a lot of organized crimes sometimes operating within the forest. We have cattle rustling. So the forest environment is basically changing.
World Rangers Day is commemorated on July 31st globally to honor rangers killed or injured in the line of duty and acknowledge their work. For Channel 1 News, I am Emily K. Bade.
Thank you, Emily, for that particular report. Brenda Award, thank you for watching. You're together with your family in Kisumu County. We appreciate you creating time for us tonight. Now we want to move on to other matters. A village in Gatundu South is seeking answers after a rogue pastor allegedly preyed on their young boys. Pastor Kairu Kuria of Mispa Revival Church is accused of sexually assaulting 2 boys on diverse dates. Caroline Kamau informs us of a separate incident where police in Nyacheki location in Kisii County are investigating a case where a 14-year-old Form 2 student was allegedly defied by her uncle after luring her with 1,000 shillings.
Cases of sexual abuse against both boys and girls continue to rise in the country, despite communities being urged to be more vigilant. The latest is a case in Kamaruri village in Gatundu South, where a pastor is alleged to have sodomized 3 young boys.
Ndio mtu anajiita pastor. Yenda na anakujaga pale kwa shule. Unajua hapo kuna kuanga na vijana wengi sana na hakuangi aja na wasichana. Sasa unashindwa mtoto wako utampeleka hapo akacheze hiyo mpira na huyo pastor akikuja.
The pastor at Mispa Revival Church, himself a husband and a father of 2, is said to have been buying beverages and lacing them with sedatives to keep boys unconscious while sexually assaulting them.
Amekuwa na tabia ya kurape wavulana. Tunaona ya kwamba vijana wameanza kuogopa na vijana wameanza kutia shaka wakati wanatumwa madukani na wazazi wao, kwa sababu amesika wavulana wengi sana. Na tunaona ya kwamba sheria isipochukuliwa, huyu pasabadia ataharibu vijana wetu sana.
The victims now want justice. Parents saying they are now scared of sending their boys to the shops, instead opting to send their girls. Patrick Shege, the area assistant chief, urging parents and children in the area to be extra vigilant. In Kisii, police in Nyacheki location, Nyamacha sub-county, Kisii County, are investigating a case where a 14-year-old Form 2 student was allegedly defiled by her uncle, who is also a school principal, after luring her with 1,000 shillings. The Gena area chief, John Nyaega, says he is working with police to ensure justice is served for the victim.
Na mwenye anasikia hii wajue ya kwamba hii ikifanyika wasifiche, watuambie tuwapatie direction.
Caroline Kamau reporting for Channel 1 News.
All right, tension is high in Kiambu County following an attack that left 1 person dead while 80 cattle were stolen. The incident is now threatening to escalate to an intercommunal fight amid fears of a revenge attack. Police are cautioning the residents against further attacks as efforts get underway to trace the stolen animals.
Residents of Ndeia village in Kiambu County are mourning the death of 1 person who was killed in a cattle raid in which attackers made away with at least 80 cattle. The incident sparking animosity among communities in Kiambu, Kajiado and Narok, with calls for the police to track and recover stolen livestock.
Duru ilipigwa. Sisi tukaenda kufikia ng'ombe. Ng'ombe zilikuwa zimeibiwa. Ng'ombe ni 80. Kwenda kufika hapo kugoga raga huko, kuelekea huko kwao, tukakuta watu kama 300. Vita kwanza hapo ni duru. Mmoja wetu sisi kujaribu kupotea. Mmoja wetu akashikwa. Akakatakatwa na akawekwa msalaba hapa.
The policemen who actually were called to assist, they deserted the people and ran away with their guns. They did not even shoot in the air to scare them. They just ran away and left the people facing those Maasais.
Kama watapanda hii mlima, hata sisi tuko na warani wetu wa Kikuyu, tutajiulizia hata sisi na tutaenda huko chini kuchukua mang'ombe yetu. Isipokuwa watuletee askari mwanamume na wengine waondolewe wote. Kama hawataondolewa, sisi tutachukua hatua mikononi yetu. Tuko na nguvu na uwezo wa kuteremka huko chini.
Following the incident, Kiambu County Commissioner Wilson Wanyanga says he has transferred all officers manning the Ndeia police station following claims of laxity by area residents.
Sisi hii kazi yetu tunapigwa transfer mara kwa mara. Kwa hivyo you must be very special kukaa mahali for 13 years. That will not happen. Hiyo timu itaondoka yote.
Kiambu Governor James Nyoro has urged residents to maintain peace as he seeks a solution with governors from Kajiado and Narok to retrieve the stolen herds of cattle and strike a truce between the warring communities.
There is a team huko imeenda na haijaenda tu kutafuta ng'ombe, imeenda kujua motive ni nini, imeenda kukaa na wazee wa huko ili watuletee ng'ombe na tujue ni kitu gani inaendelea hapo. Tena tumeongea na IG na tumesema habari ya anti-stop theft unit. Ile commissioner ameongea habari yake, hata hiyo iko kwa njia. Na vile itafanya, kwanza itakaa katikati yenu na katikati ya wale. Nyinyi msiende upande ule na wao wasikuje upande huu.
For Channel 1 News, I'm Gladys Mungai.
Thank you, Gladys. Away from that report, this is an unfortunate one. A woman and her 2 children are seeking justice after their father allegedly sent goons to their homestead to attack them. The man and his wife are said to have separated for a while, but the wife decided to return to her matrimonial home after she was unable to pay rent in her rented house. But her husband, who was unwilling to take them back, instead sent goons to push them out of their home. Her 2 children are now nursing serious injuries sustained during the attack.
A son needs a father, but if a father kama baba mwenyewe si baba, anatuma watu wengine wakuue, huyo si baba.
Words from a son to his father. The man who should be protecting him and his sister instead sent goons to attack them.
My message to you: I forgive you personally. Nimejaribu kukuja karibu na wewe. Nimejaribu kukuonyesha venye unaweza rudisha familia yako boma yako legally, traditionally venye ulikuwa unasema. But to be honest, venye unasemanga you're not a coward. You are a coward.
The man and his wife, who is the children's mother, had differences that saw the woman leave her matrimonial home that she says she had helped build and lived with her husband for 12 years. She would, however, return after she was unable to support herself and her children due to the impact of COVID-19 on her business.
Wakati tulipofika huko, kulikuwa na bibi mwingine na aliweza kumtorosha usiku. Na tukabaki sisi na watoto wangu tuko pale nje kwa gari tukigojea ataweza kutufungulia nyumba tuingie.
The wife decided to camp outside the house for 4 days with her children. Her husband then decided to live with his new woman, locking them outside the house only to return with goons.
Akakimbilia kamera yake. Wakati alienda kukimbilia kamera yake, wale majambazi wakawa wamefika. Lakini kabla hawajamfikia, akaniambia mamu, wacha kwanza kunifungulia, wacha niwapige picha ndio tukue na evidence, sababu hatujui hawa ni watu gani. Akapiga wale majambazi picha. Wakati wale majambazi waliona wamepigwa picha, mmoja akaangusha shoka alikuwa nayo, akaanzia kuvaa mask. Hawa wengine wakaanzia kufuata kijana yangu, pia wao wakikimbia. Wakamshika, wakamtandika sana. Walikuwa wanamtandika wakitaka kumnyang'anya kamera. Na mimi tukiwa ndani na dada yake huyu. Dada yake akaona ndugu yake atakufa. Mimi sikujua vile huyu mtoto alifungua mlango. Alifungua mlango na kukimbia kuokoa ndugu yake. Akasahau ya kwamba wale watu hawataki wao, ni mimi walikuwa after. Sababu mzee amekuwa kutoka Thursday akiniambia, wewe ninakuambia ukiishi hapa lazima nitakuua.
Her children were both treated at a nearby hospital for varied degrees of injuries. The matter was reported to Ruai Police Station awaiting action. The family has been embroiled in a property row which is allegedly jointly owned by both the husband and his wife. Caroline Kamar reporting for Channel 1 News.
We are also tracking for you the trajectory the COVID-19 curve is taking globally. Here's what we have for you tonight. Spain reported a second day of 1,000+ coronavirus infections, the highest since the nation lifted its lockdown in June in what appears to be a second wave. More than 17.4 million people around the world have been diagnosed with the new coronavirus, with more than 10.9 million patients having recovered and at least 677,000 others have died. This is according to data from the Johns Hopkins University.
Spain reported the biggest daily jump in new coronavirus cases since its lockdown ended, exceeding 1,000 infections for the second day running. The health ministry data showed 1,229 new cases diagnosed in the preceding 24 hours and 13,391 in the past week. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has said countries should gradually lift international travel measures based on a thorough risk assessment and prioritize essential travel for emergency. This comes as Britain imposed a tougher lockdown in swatches of northern England after a rise in the rate of coronavirus transmission, raising concerns that a second wave of the deadly virus could sow more turmoil. In Libya, the internationally recognized government in Tripoli will impose a full lockdown in areas of the country it controls after a sharp rise in coronavirus cases. Botswana capital Gaborone has also returned to a 2-week lockdown to stem its latest surge in coronavirus infections. Under new rules for the capital and surrounding areas, only essential workers will be able to leave home for work, with others only able to leave the house to buy groceries. And several French cities announced new face mask requirements and other measures to contain the coronavirus as the number of new cases continues to increase after a long lull, officials said. The coronavirus infections appear to be picking up in the Midwestern United States, the coordinator of the White House Coronavirus Task Force said, as the state of Ohio reported a record day of cases and Wisconsin governor mandated the use of masks. Elsewhere, Fiji announced its first coronavirus death, but health officials assured people in the Pacific island nation that it was not the precursor to a major outbreak. In the meantime, India reported another record surge in daily infections, taking the total to 1.64 million as the government further eases virus curbs in a bid to resuscitate the economy, while also trying to increase testing. Brazil First Lady Michelle Bolsonaro tested positive for the new coronavirus, the government announced on Thursday, 5 days after her husband said he had recovered from COVID-19 infection. For Channel 1 News, I am Emily K. Bade.
Having recorded over 700 cases of coronavirus, Machakos County is leaving nothing to chance. The county government has already achieved the 300 isolation bed capacity. However, devolved units face the litmus test of controlling the spread of coronavirus. Join me, Purity Musio, this Sunday at 9 p.m. on our weekly segment of Family Matters as we engage Machakos County Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua on how his administration is adopting to the new normal, only on KBC Channel 1.
Hamjambo wa Kenya wenzangu, mimi ni prosecutor. Niko hapa kusisitiza maagizo ambayo tunapewa na Wizara ya Afya kuhusu ugonjwa wa coronavirus. Tunaambiwa pahali pana watu wengi lazima tuweke distance, yani kuweka hatua mita 1 kwa mwenzako. Ukienda kwa matatu, weka distance. Ukienda kwa soko ama palipopote mkusanyiko wa watu, ni vizuri uweze kupeana hiyo social distance ili tuweze kumaliza maambukizi. Tukifuata haya masharti ama maagizo ambayo tunapewa na Wizara ya Afya, hakika tutaangamiza coronavirus na hali yetu ya kawaida tutairudia. Asanteni sana.
Who choose to read their Bible daily, they become wiser
and they become stronger than the people who don't read their Bibles. So when you choose hard, difficult things, you become a natural leader. He brings us to church to introduce to us another higher level of relationship that is called a faith relationship. You are also a solution to somebody else's problem. You cannot be the only problem all the time.
Join Pastor Jimmy Masharia on The Master's Touch this Sunday from 8 a.m. on KBC Channel 1.
On the next episode of Behind Closed Doors.
You are the one who has to be careful. I'm not the one whose days are numbered. Be careful.
We need you as bait to draw in Ismail. If he tried taking you last night, it means you're a very important part of his plan.
Who told you that I'm going to kill him myself?
No, Ismail. You tell me what you're planning on doing right this minute.
Ismail?
Ismail! Finish all this once and for all and just set Gonzalo free. The police are on their way.
The date for the FA Cup final is set, and so are we, as Arsenal and Chelsea face off again on the 1st of August at Wembley. The All London affair will be broadcast live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 this Saturday from 7:30 p.m.
Cesar Azpilicueta again for Giroud. Oh, and it's found a way through.
Heads up. It is a showdown worth your wait.
We now want to update you on the latest developments in the world of sports. Former athletes have called on the Kenyan government to honor retired athletes, having set the pace for the country's sportsmen and women who are now being rewarded for their duties to the nation. The request came today during the burial of Olympic silver medalist Ben Jipcho at his home in Kasawai village in Kitale.
Olympic silver medalist Ben Jipcho was laid to rest today at his Kisawai home in Trans Nzoia County. The 1972 Olympic silver medalist and 1973 All-Africa Games champion died last Friday in hospital in Eldoret, where he was receiving treatment. While attending the burial, former athletes led by two-time Olympic champion Kipchoge Keino called on the government to honor retired athletes for their service to the nation while they are still alive.
Tusiongoje kwamba kwanza tunakufa ndio mtuletee pesa. Mtupe saa hizi tunapokuwa. Chipcho aliomba kura miaka ile alikuwa anataka ubunge. Na mimi naomba wananchi pia msitushangilie tu wakati tunawili. Tukiomba kura, mtupe kura tuweze kuongoza, kwa sababu sisi pia tunajua jinsi ya kuongoza. Kama tumeongoza kwa mbio, tatushinda kweli kuongoza.
Siwezi kusahau Bile Chipcho na mimi tulifanya
kwa mchezo katika nchi hii yetu ya Kenya. Family ya Ben Chipchumba tunasema pole. Tumefanya kazi na huyu wa Kenya, tumefanya kazi na Ben Chipchumba, tumekimbia bila hata viatu, mpaka tukawa na viatu. Tulikuwa na nguo hata kidogo sana ambaye hatuwezi kufanya mazoezi.
Tumefika hapa familia ijue ya kwamba serikali ya Kenya inatambua yale mambo ndugu yetu Ben Chipchumba alifanya kama mwanariadha, kama mwalimu, kama askari na kama kiongozi. Pongezi sana. Na poleni kwa sababu pengo aliloacha huyu ndugu sio rahisi.
Deputy President William Ruto, who attended the burial, said the national government is committed to rewarding Kenyan sportsmen and women for their duties to the nation.
Hawa wazee kina Kipchoge Keino waliumia kidogo kwa sababu wakati huo hatukukuwa na mpango wa kusaidia wakimbiaji ama wanariadha. Lakini sasa hivi tumeweka mpango kamili kama serikali.
Born in March 1943, Chipchumba first won a silver medal in the 3,000-meter steeplechase at the 1972 Summer Olympics behind gold medalist Kipchoge Keino. He then went on to win a gold medal in the 5,000 meters at the 1973 All-Africa Games, then won gold medals in the 5,000 meters and 3,000 meter steeplechase events and a bronze medal in the 1,500 meters at the 1974 Commonwealth Games held in Christchurch, New Zealand. May God rest his soul in eternal peace.
And indeed, may his soul rest in eternal peace, Ben Chipchumba there. Now, let's move on. The World Athletics Council has confirmed the competition format for a cross-country event to be included in the Olympic Games. The event, which has been proposed for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, would be a mixed team relay for 15 countries and would be making a return 100 years after it last appeared.
World Athletics Council has confirmed the competition format for a cross-country event to be included in the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, and it would be a mixed team relay for 15 countries. Each team will be composed of 2 men and 2 women. Each member of the team would run 2 legs of the 2.5-kilometer course, alternating between male and female athletes as each athlete completes the 2.5-kilometer course and hands over to a teammate. World Athletics will meet with the Paris 2024 Organizing Committee in the near future to work out further details of the proposal. World Athletics President Sebastian Coe said he was delighted at the prospect of cross-country returning to the Olympic Games 100 years after it last appeared at the 1924 Paris Games. The World Governing Body is also working with organizers of the World Athletics Cross-Country Championships Bathurst 2021 to explore alternative dates for the event. This is due to ongoing travel and gathering restrictions resulting from the global COVID-19 pandemic and the measures currently implemented within Australia to contain it. This includes the closure of Australia's international borders. World Athletics will work closely with all stakeholders in Australia to explore the feasibility of other dates. At this time, the event remains in the calendar for 20th March 2021.
Allow me to appreciate some of our viewers. Stephen Onyango watching from Karen right here in Nairobi. Nicodemus Morwabe, you're tuned. Histon Bonaya from Marembo Village. Florence Kamende from Kibra. And of course, Dennis Waswa from Moyes Bridge. Thank you so much for all of you who created time. Now we have a special treat for you this weekend. Remember the action tomorrow. The FA Cup final will be aired live right here on KBC Channel 1. Arsenal will be playing against Chelsea. So who will carry the trophy? That action, you can catch it live right here on KBC Channel 1 at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for creating time for us tonight. My name is Serfine Achieng. Our sign language interpreter has been Simon Karodha, but don't go away. Up next are the weather updates with Irene Mchuma Odim. Have a good night.
It is the last day in the month of July, one that is characterized with cold weather conditions. I hope you're well from wherever you are. My name is Irene Mchuma Odim. Let's get into the details of weather patterns here in the home country. And there are showers over a few places in the counties of Trans Nzoia, Uasin Gishu, Nandi, and West Pokot. Also, a few areas in Moyale, there are rains. These as temperatures in the capital stand at 13 degrees Celsius. That is not the lowest in Meru and Machakos. Temperatures tonight stand at 11 degrees Celsius. Saturday, the morning will be cool and cloudy in the capital. Similarly, in Meru and Nyeri, there will be showers in Mombasa and Kilifi. The northeastern parts of the country will mainly be sunny. Similarly to the northwestern parts of the country, save for a few areas along the border of Kenya and South Sudan. The Lake Basin region and western parts of the country will experience sunny conditions. It will be a bit cloudy in a few areas in the southeastern lowlands, but it will be sunny in Machakos, Makindu, Voi, and Taita Taveta areas. In the afternoon, we'll see an increase of wet conditions in the country. There will be showers accompanied by thunderstorms in Kitale, Eldoret, and Nakuru areas. There will be showers in Mombasa and Kilifi. Sunny conditions will continue over the northeastern parts of the country. There will be showers in Nyeri and Meru during the afternoon hours in the few areas around the northwestern parts of the country, and this will be in West Pokot. Temperatures have slightly gone up in Lodwar. We're expecting maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. The highest in the country, the capital, will experience highs of 24 degrees Celsius. Up next is the international forecast. Do have a good night, and let's do this again tomorrow, God willing.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله الذي كان قبل أن يخلق المكان وعلم ما كان وما لم يكن وما هو كائن كيف أحاط بكل شيء علما وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، أيها الناس، أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. أيها الكرام، أما موضوع محاضرتنا اليوم سوف أتكلم إن شاء الله عن 10 أيام من أول ذي الحجة wama yataalaq kwa Islam na watazamaji wote kiujumla. Baada ya kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala na kumsalia kipenzi cha umma ambao kwamba mtume wetu Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, kwanza kabisa tunakuwa wenye kuiombea nchi yetu, na bila shaka tunakuwa wenye kuwaombea wagonjwa wote ambao kwamba wamekuwa wenye kupatwa na ili janga ambao kwamba linakuwa lenye kuendelea na magonjwa ambao kwamba tofauti. Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala awe wenye kuwaponya. Bila shaka tukiwa wenye kuendelea, mimi ni wenu ambao kwamba nafahamika kwa majina kama Yahya Hassan, Amir Da'wa katika Masjid Al-Aqsa Kayole Estate. Hakika tukiwa na furaha tena bila shaka kukutana na nyinyi kwa mara nyingine tena, ili tu wenye kuendelea na vipindi zetu ambao kwamba wangano wenye kuendelea nazo ama ukipenda Kenya twaomba. Ikiwa bila shaka yale ambayo kwamba nitaweza kuyazungumzia, takuwa ni kuzungumzia kuhusu muhimu wa siku 10 ambao kwamba za mwezi katika mwezi wa siku 10 za kwanza wa Dhulhijja. Hakika yakulu Allah Ta'ala, Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala asema ya kuwa wal fajr wala yalil ashin. Allah asema wal fajr, na hapa na wakati wa alfajiri, na mfasiri akasema ni ile wakati ambao kwamba alfajiri ya siku ya Eid, wala walayalin ashir, na Allah anaendelea kuhapa na siku 10 ambapo kwamba ni za mwanzo wa Dhulhijja. Na siku 10 zenyewe bila shaka zitakuwa ni zenye kwanza wakati gani? Zitakuwa ni yenye kwanza kesho Jumatano, ama ukipenda tarehe 25, tarehe 22 mwezi wa 7, na siku ya Arafa itakuwa tarehe 30 mwezi wa huu mwezi, na siku ya Eid insha Allah itakuwa tarehe 31 huu mwezi, itakuwa siku ya Friday. Yakulu Nabii sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tunasema ya kuwa ma min ayamil amal salih ahabbu salih fiha ahabbu ila Allah min hadhihi alayam. Hakuna mtu ambaye kwamba ama hakuna amali ambayo kwamba ni nzuri mtu akiona yenye kutendea katika miezi zote ambayo kwamba inakuwa yenye kupendezwa kwa Mwenyezi Mungu kama mtu anapokuwa akifanyia katika katika huu mwezi, bimaana katika hizi siku 10 za mwanzo wa Dhulhijja, yani ayyamul ushr. Qali ya Rasulullah, mtume alipoyasema yale, wala jihad fi sabilillah, wala mtu akienda kupigana jihad katika njia ya Allah, qala wala jihad fi sabilillah, hakika hata mtu kama ameenda kupigana katika njia ya Allah, hakika mtu hizi masiku inakuwa ina wenye kushinda, illa rajul, mtume akasema isipokuwa mtu kharaja binafsihi wa malihi wala yarji'u bidhalika mishayin, ula ametoka nafsi yake na binafsihi wa malihi na mali yake, na hakuna chochote ambacho kimekuwa ni kurudi. Hakika inatuonyesha kuwa katika hizi masiku inakuwa ni jambo ambalo kwamba inatubidi inafaa, yani tuwe ni kukithirisha kuwa ni kufanya amali ambayo kwamba ni nyingi mno ndani ya hizi masiku. Tukiona yenye kuendelea fadhulun asiyami yaum Arafa, katika haya masiku kuna siku ambayo kwamba inakuwa inaitwa siku ya Arafa, ambapo kama inapatikana katika haya masiku. Wa an Abi Qatada radhiyallahu anhu qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ubora wa siku ambapo kwamba ni ya Arafa, mtume asema ya kuwa yaum Arafa siyamu yaum Arafa yukafiru sanatain madhiya wa mustakbila, mtu kufunga mwezi wa Arafa, hakika mtu anakuwa ni kusamehea madhambi ya miaka 2 uliopita na unaokuja. Na mtume akasema katika hadithi nyingine ya kuwa wa inna siyamu yaum minha ya'dil siyam sana, na mwenye kufunga siku moja katika hizi miezi, katika hizi siku 10 za mwanzo wa Dhulhijja, anakuwa kama mwenye anahesabiwa kama mwenye amefunga. Hakika kuongelewa ni mengi, lakini takuwa ni kukomea hapo kwa leo. Takuwa ni kuendelea hapa ambapo kwamba tumekomea. Wasalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Vera Beauty College.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725 923 550 Nairobi branch, 0728 087 689 Eldoret branch, 0722 22 7428 Thika branch, 0725 000 706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
We want to talk about women, business and COVID-19.
I'm the CEO and founder of Kienyeji's Foods.
We provide comfortable traveling solution to the society.
How are you coping?
Most interesting thing is that when COVID came, I got more attention.
Wow.
Increased my production, so I started supplying eggs around and people would come to the gate.
Most of the time what I'm doing is just to become a little bit more creative, introduce some interesting stuff that would appeal to people.
A backup plan is important then also be flexible.
Lots of business ideas, it's just that we don't think out of the box.
Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema, ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose.
Hamjambo wa Kenya wenzangu. Mimi ni Mheshimiwa Mize. Ninalotaka kuambia ni kuwasihi ya kwamba corona iko. Na ili tupigane nayo na tuishinde. Ukikohoa, tafadhali kama una ile ya kujifunika ile tissue, weka mkono hapa. Kama ni chafya yako acho na itabakia pale pale. Kama ni kukohoa yako koholea hapo. Na nakwambia tukizingatia sheria na tuitii, hii corona tutaishinda na nchi yetu tutarudi kama kawaida.
You may be in the pit. You do not see how you could get out. But the good news is that you do not have to get by yourself. The Most High God is about to lift you out. He's about to turn the medical report. He's about to free you. He's about to open new doors, bringing new opportunities, new relationships.
Kupata The Pit, bonyeza star 811 star 967 hash. Bonyeza star 811 star 967 hash.
Assalamu alaikum mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu kwenye show kubwa East Africa. Karibu nikupatie burudani ya Afrika Mashariki kama nilivyokuambia hapo awali. Siku ya leo mtu wangu nataka nikurudishe nyuma, nikupatie muziki TBT, muziki uliokomaa, muziki ulioenda shule, muziki unakubalika, muziki ambao hii ni Top Mashariki imesha take over ndani ya mpango mzima. Bwana, niite Munyi Kazungu, niite tajiri wa muziki ya kizazi kipya. Siendi mbali na pia usicheze mbali pia. Imesha take over.
Big time production. Saidi Komorian, #1. Bobby Franklin Town. The big boss, that's Lucas Nubi. Adam G, is when you say up,